Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. I'm Nate, your host today, because we've got three fifths of the beef. Um, Not a reference to anything. It's a compromise, but
60%
it's not a
beef is
reference.
my favorite kind of ground beef, 60%. 60 40% fat.
There we go. We're leaving the fat in. We're not cutting the fat this time. We're here to chew it because we've got the juice, maybe, or we're seeking the juice because we're going to talk about the movie Juice. But before we do that, we got to talk about what we watched this week. Alec,
Mm. I missed last week. I don't say I missed it, but I missed
Yeah,
last week, so I have
nice Office Space reference. I appreciate that.
six things.
six there.
Six things.
Yeah. Some bangers, some not so bangers. Um, Watched Batman 89.
Okay.
I know that that's divisive on the show, but I find that movie to be a lot of fun. Um, at some point soon, I'll probably watch Batman Returns too. Uh, but Michael Keaton is doing some work in that movie.
Yeah, you
Um,
want to get nuts?
yeah, you want to get nuts? Um, Jack Nicholson like chewing, spitting out, inhaling the scenery, shitting it out afterwards. Like, what a role!
Yeah, he is leaning in.
Like in a way that I would not expect Jack Nicholson to, especially like seeing his filmography like after this, where everything's just like pretty much cranky old man stuff. Like this is wildly out of left field for like in Jack Nicholson's oeuvre of
Well,
uh
it,
of movies.
it's kind of funny because like his performance in that movie, I think, is good. Even though I mean, I have my issues with that movie, but like he kind of ruined everybody else's performance for that first generation of Batman movies because everybody's like, oh, I guess I just do that, and it's
Yeah,
like it doesn't work in almost any of the other ones.
I think Penguin works, but yeah, Jim Carrey's basically doing this just with his green suit on.
Yeah.
But Batman '89 is a lot of fun, and like I can't separate whether it's a good movie or not. Like I can't. It's a great movie as far as I'm concerned. Like the Batmobile, like losing the sides and driving through like the alley, which even as a kid I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like how's he get the sides back? Are those things just there in the city for people to just grab? That's weird. But it's a cool visual. That Batmobile fucking rocked. Way
Yeah.
better than the Tumbler was cool in its own right, but this
Yeah, but
Batmobile
It's
like
the
kicked
best. It's
ass.
having
the
it
best
be an
looking
iconic
Batmobile.
car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like
And
I loved Batman 66 because it was on reruns all the time when I was a kid. And like that goofy Batmobile is still
yeah,
like the Batmobile to me, like the Adam West version. And then when Batman 89 came out, like I had like comic books of Batman and Batman Returns, like the comic book adaptation of the movie, because like we were so geeked out on it. And it was such a I mean, it blew everything up. It was like Batman toys with Happy Meals and shit and all this stuff that like hadn't happened before. It was such a huge deal.
but Batman '89, good movie. Watched the David Batista, Jason Momoa vehicle, The Wrecking Crew. It's an Amazon movie that came out last month.
Nice.
It's fine. It loses steam along the way. They have pretty good chemistry. It's a David Batista is like a Navy drill sergeant, and Momoa is a drunken cop, and their father gets murdered, and they set out to find the killer with between like the Yakuza and it's set in Hawaii, like the Hawaiian mafia and some other crap. Um,
It's kind of
there's some
funny because Momoa is a guy that seems like a wrestler but wasn't, and Dave Batista is just like like an actor that's like that guy's pretty big. I bet he could be a wrestler. You know what I mean? It's just kind
yeah,
of funny.
It is. Yeah, they're definitely a juxtaposed. Um, it's pretty good. It's not great. It's got some really fun action set pieces. There's a part at the beginning where the Yakuza comes after Momoa, and he is just rocking the shit. He curb stomps somebody on like his kitchen counter, and it like shows, like fully shows his like jaw get dislodged.
Jesus Christ.
He uses a cheese grater to like grate off one of the Yakuza's like tattoos.
Oh shit.
It's like some really brutal stuff in it. Um, and the action set pieces are all a lot of fun. They're all pretty good. Um, it's on Netflix or Prime. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. It was worth a watch. It wasn't as good as the John Cena, um, Idris Elba president movie that came out last year. That movie is a banger. Heads of State. I watched the top 5 Marvel movie, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Nice.
That
Good
movie
movie.
slaps. I just realized that I wrote "Contain America: Winter Soldier," not Captain America. Stupid autocorrect.
Somebody really
you
needs to work on containing America, to be honest.
yeah. I mean, I
Contain
think
America: The
Contain
Winter
America
Soldier.
Winter Soldier, a
Contain
Percy Jackson
America,
all
novel.
wrong.
comma, Winter
This is all
Soldier.
wrong. Yeah. That movie's a banger.
It's still like the only thing I can't deal with in that movie, and I just cannot get past it no matter what, is the swapping Cleveland for DC. I guess probably just because we grew up so close to it. It's like, this shit is goofy.
Yeah, definitely. Don't need to talk about that very much. Watched Independence Day on the 3rd of July in a hotel
Hey.
room because that was all that was on. That movie is not great, but it's fun enough and got stupid, silly action like late 90s or early 90s, I guess. Mid 90s?
It just,
Is it
I think
97?
like, is it that late?
Is it 95
I
or
thought like
97?
93 or something. I mean, it could be.
I was thinking 94,
Yeah.
but
It's
like that's
kind
just
of
96. We were
30
all
okay.
years
We're
old.
all wrong. It's just wild. Like, remember when they're like, okay, we're gonna make Harry Connick Jr. a thing, and that never really happened.
Yeah.
I
Harry
always
Connick
liked him
Jr.,
though, because he
fighter
was in
pilot.
like
Yeah.
wasn't he? He was on Ally McBeal or something as a love interest. He was on
Well,
every prestige network show
he was in
for a minute.
the Copycat. Remember when he played that like fucking
Oh,
psycho rapist stalker guy or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
Um, but that movie's not bad. Like Will Smith's good in it. It's one of his like good ones, kind of like First Men in Black.
He
I think we
welcomes
watched
them
that
to
on the
Earth.
show and we were like, that's kind of a banger.
Yeah. Data's good.
Yeah, Data is good. Jeff Goldblum's doing his Jurassic Park Jeff Goldblum thing. Like everybody's fine in it. It's a perfectly cromulent movie. It's just too long. Um, there was a
Really
few
good
things.
creature design though. That those alien designs are pretty solid.
Yeah,
Oh
those
yeah,
are cool
absolutely.
aliens. I remember how like legit scared I was from the trailer to that movie, like because it was so intense seeming
Yeah.
to my child brain that like yeah, it was I was like, oh, this is a scary idea that aliens could come here. This is scary. And then yeah, that movie, I don't it's weird because I think like I loved that movie when it came out. But I agree with you, Alec, because I feel like I watched it 2 years ago or something, and I was like, this is pretty this is pretty lame all together, but it's still endearing in a weird way. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
cool because you look at that and then you go like, oh, you kind of see what Mars Attacks is directly lampooning in the conversation in the moment.
you love Mars Attacks.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they decide that in order to stop an alien ship from destroying a city, they're going to nuke it, which in turn destroys the city and doesn't stop the alien ship anyway. Suck it, Houston.
That's
Sucks
right.
for you. Um, watched Next Goal Wins, which I've talked about a bunch of times on the show. That movie slaps. I love that movie. It might be my favorite Taika Waititi movie. I think I say that every time I watch a Taika Waititi movie, but I made it this time.
What
Um,
about Thor 4? Would you say it if you watched Thor
I
4?
liked Thor 4. I know a lot
I
of
mean,
people didn't.
I don't
I
dislike it
enjoyed it.
either.
It's
I
not
think
like
it like could have
it's not as
been
good as Ragnarok,
better.
and it's
But yeah.
not like in the upper tier. I didn't have the problems with it that most people had. I thought it was kind of fun and whimsical, and they didn't like take it too seriously. But I can understand people's concerns when you have the villain that's supposed to be Gore the God Butcher, and he doesn't really butcher any gods.
Yeah.
He
That was one
butchers
of my main
one.
concerns was like
He's
show more
also
god butchering. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
he's
cool
also
shit.
hardly in the movie, which is my biggest
Oh
problem.
shit.
Yeah, what's up? Sorry guys, I fell asleep. I could have sworn I set an alarm. I did not.
Alex
Um,
said he may have sent you to the shadow realm by accident.
no, 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 no. I'm good. Nothing like that. I'm just, the usual waking up at 5 o'clock every day has its effects on you, you know. But
Um,
no, Love and Thunder's not that bad. I think it gets overhated, to be honest.
it does because people, oh,
Yeah.
Thor is just a joke in this movie. Like, have you watched all four Thor movies and
Well,
Endgame and Event? Like,
you
he's
know, the
funny in all of them. Like, it's not
yeah,
like,
Everybody hates Thor 2 for good reason, but the first Thor is also pretty bad. Like
Yeah.
I like Kenneth Branagh and I get what he's trying to do, but it just does not work.
to be honest, I don't know if I've ever revisited the original Thor.
It's
Like
not
I,
good.
yeah, I feel like I obviously watched it at some point and liked it, but I don't think I ever went back to it.
the last thing I watched is a movie called Nuked, Nuked.
Hmm.
It's about a group of people are having a like 40th birthday party for one of them, and he sets up this weed dinner where they like all their food is like cannabis infused. And while they're at this dinner, they get an alert on their phones that there's a nuclear ballistic missile incoming, and they all start freaking out and breaking down and telling each other secrets and things like that. It wasn't terrible. It had some pretty funny moments. Nobody really of note in it. Natasha Leggero's in it for a little bit.
Ugh.
That
Uh, Anna Camp is in it, and the guy who played the person they're all looking for in The Hangover is in it. Like, there's nobody really super famous.
So it's like a comedy version of Miracle Mile.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I
what
mean
was the
that sounds like my nightmare to be incredibly high and experiencing an actual reason to be anxious.
yeah. What was that Australian apocalypse movie that we like? These Final Hours, is that what that was
Yeah,
called?
that movie
That shit was
slapped.
good. That was real good.
Yep, that was. I was just thinking about that movie last night.
But the movie was slightly unrealistic because they were like, no. Nobody was
No,
like,
oh
no,
no, here
no,
comes
no.
Here comes the fire. We're all gonna get burned to death, mate. Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah.
That is everything I watched. Nate,
Ooh, I watched let's see, I think three things.
Three
three
things.
things.
Technically four. Yeah, but three.
Four
Three that I
technical
get
things.
one that's not loggable on Letterboxd, so I'll talk about that first. Well,
Wow.
I watched a
That's
movie called
interesting.
Listers. It's on YouTube, but it's
Oh,
about these
okay.
two brothers who do a year of bird watching, and they try to like
They're
feed
birders.
the most birds in the year kind of thing. They end up like seeing 579 birds, which is a shitload of birds. They're just driving around the country all year looking for them. And it was kind of funny. Like it was sort of a, it's a very like cozy documentary where you don't really learn anything. You just sort of see like people in their 20s do something that you never did and you're kind of like, I should have done that instead of working because
Yeah.
they're doing this.
You mean doing
Um,
anything to like actually pursue some kind of like passion instead of just crushing your life away?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It did make me
Well,
inspired
to be
to
fair,
consider
it's
like
more like whittling your life away.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
allowing someone else to slowly whittle it away. It's like
Yeah.
becoming a piece of wood and letting someone else clench you in their hand and slowly scrape your life off of you
That's a very good yeah, I like very, very
while occasionally
very
dipping you in a food bowl.
illustrative analogy there.
But yeah, it was they're funny because they're both like Gen Z hipster type people and they get a lot of great shots of cool birds. So it was just interesting. Like I don't know, I like birds. I'm into birds now. as I guess people become eventually. Uh, so yeah, so that was fun. But you can't you can watch it for free on YouTube, so check it out sometime. It's a little long, but it's the kind of movie you can walk in and out of, and you're not going to miss a lot because there's not like a plot. I went to the movie theater and I saw the movie closest to the original Thor. I saw Masters of the Universe, which
Oh,
How is that?
was
Yeah, I've
I've
been
fun.
heard that it's
hearing.
fun, and I've heard that it's really stupid.
Yeah.
It is both. It's like it's a super kind of five. I don't know. It's
Wow.
It's a
Super
gentleman's
Five?
six.
It's a
it
super fun. Yeah, it's a
here,
gentleman's
Sean. You're
six.
right. It's like it's between a five and a gentleman's six because wild take. Jared Leto. How do we say his last name?
Who
Leto,
cares? It.
Leto,
Leto.
He doesn't.
Jared Leto, when he achieves dukedom, you can pronounce it
Leto.
Leto.
Okay, Jared Leto is amazing as Skeletor. He's actually really good. Like his
Huh.
performance is fun. It's the most that character is the most aware of the movie that I think they're supposed to be making.
Yeah.
Um, it is otherwise kind of all over the place because on one hand, like so Prince Adam is banished to Earth because we have to do that in every
So
movie.
I'm so tired of that fucking trope. Like they did that.
Well, that's the
Like
original Dolph Lundgren version is
well
we
that
end up in Earth
too.
for
But
reasons
they
and
do
have to
it.
hang out
I
with
mean,
Courtney Cox.
they do it in so many. Well, I mean, in the original, they did it because they had no fucking money. But like to a lesser extent, like that was the fucking Mario Brothers movie too. It's just
Yeah.
like we got to put it in the real world. We
It
got like,
was
can we
also
stop?
Thor. Yeah.
Yeah, can we stop fucking doing that? Can we just like here we go? We're in Eternia. You know what I mean? Like this is
Yeah.
it. Can I ask a question, Nate? Because I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. I. It's actually on the Plex, or no, it isn't. Not yet, but I think I'll eventually watch it. But like the general kind of vibe I got from the movie is that like it's very like it's like Snakes on a Plane. Like it's a movie that's like silly intentionally, but like not in a fun way. Like it's too kind of winky. Like that kind of like
Yeah.
there's an extended clip they put out right before the movie came out where like Skeletor is like having like a victory speech and he like laughs, but he laughs too long and everybody's like, "Hey, what the hell's up with this guy?" And like that clip alone was like, "Yeah, I don't want to watch this." Cuz like I like silly and I like the idea. I mean, we've said this before on the show, but like I think these big stupid action movies they should be more silly. But at the same time, like I kind of hate the like we know we're making something stupid kind of like aren't we funny for being ironic kind of crap. Like I don't know. There's
Yeah,
a
but you
fine
also
line.
complain when movies don't lean into how stupid they are either.
I know, but it's
You can't have
like
it both ways.
you
Yeah, but
can though. It's a
you can make
fine
a
line.
stupid, like silly movie without it being like referential. Like it can be
Yes,
silly without the point of the movie is being silly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
yes. That's I
it's
yeah
it's
I
less
But
yeah I have a hard
because like
time
I think what you're
illustrating what I'm
getting
saying.
at is like you don't like movies that are lampshaded. Like
Yes.
the Barbarian Brothers movies are stupid, but it's not like, hey, look how stupid we are. It's like, hey, isn't this fun? We got these two big guys that are driving a truck or whatever. Whereas like Repo the Genetic Opera or something, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
look how fucking like subversive and stupid we are. Now I feel like I'm doing it wrong, but you get what I'm getting at.
no,
Again,
it's
You
what
are
it
doing it
is
wrong.
like
my
when
example
I
is Snakes on a Plane. Like
sure.
Snakes on a Plane is like a movie that's dumb, but like it knows it's dumb, or like
Like
Sharknado, where it's
it's
just
built
like
around being stupid rather than it just like naturally being stupid as a result of the movie.
exactly.
Yes, part of the tone of the movie is it is the thing that my wife always gives me a hard time about. Like if I make a joke and then I'm
Yeah.
like, eh,
So
did you get what I
you say the N word too much.
right? Did you get my joke? Did you get my did you get but the
Did you
thing
get
is
it?
like I'll do that like there's too much nudging happening and that's
Yeah.
part of what the problem is, right? It's like it's totally like the movie is tonally so out of balance that on one hand, Adam is going through like an existential crisis because he works in HR and has been trying to find his sword to get home. But everything around him is so unserious about what it's doing that it feels atonal. And then there's moments where like Idris Elba's man at arms
Yeah, that's right.
is he is like a true father figure. And there are other moments where it's like he's a bumbling drunk now. and they're and saying things like, "How are your feelings?" And it's like, no, but you at the beginning of the movie when his dad berated him in front of everybody else in the school, you told him that it would be okay. So you understand feelings. Like these jokes
Right.
don't work. Um, it's also just kind of like I think what it is it's a Mattel movie where they saw, oh, the Barbie movie did well. What if we do kind of the same thing, but we don't
See,
understand what worked about it?
see, that's a good example of a movie though that is silly, understands the
Right.
premise is ridiculous, but it's well done. And there's like a
Yeah.
heart to that movie.
And this movie is doing a
Thank God for
similar
Noah Baumbach.
Yeah.
because
You
this
know,
So,
I
this
love praising that guy.
well,
I
that,
know
that
it's your
movie
favorite.
even though it's a movie about how the CIA subverts Latin American revolutionaries, I'm serious.
Yeah.
It has a plot that is like outside of them just being dolls. You know what I mean? Like it has
Yeah.
that whole like the political upheaval. So it's driving towards something in that universe rather than the universe itself just being the movie.
Yeah. This has a similar sort of plot around what masculinity is and empathy and things like that being a power. Um, but it's not threaded well enough where you're like, "Oh, that's earned at the end." You're like, "No, that's correct, but I don't see how we got from A to Q here." Um,
The
but yeah,
movie
at the
the
same
movie
time,
tanked. That movie did
yeah, it did very
terrible.
poorly. I saw it because it was a matinee for $8 and I was like, I've been off this week, so I was like, fuck it, whatever.
But the
Um,
thing is, like, I don't know, like, I genuinely don't understand what they were expecting because, like, you know, if you're, I don't know, 10 years younger than us, like, you don't fucking have any affection for He-Man. Like, I
yeah.
feel like,
It's a
I
movie
feel like,
for us that they're trying to get a new generation of kids interested in at the same
but
time,
yeah, I
and
don't,
they don't know
yeah,
how to balance it because like the other thing is most of the jokes are raunchy. Like there's a bunch of Skeletor referencing He-Man's big sword dangling between his legs. There's Fisto. There's a lot of Fisto stuff about what Fisto does with his fists. And then there's also a moment where Fisto says, "Give him head, Ram Man," and then apologizes to perhaps the audience for saying that. So there's a lot going on. But it is kind of fun. Like I didn't fully regret watching it. It's just like this is everything that you could do wrong with the opportunity to make this movie
also
is
probably
to
something you shouldn't have spent like $400 million on or whatever they did.
yeah,
Like,
probably not.
yeah.
I think Mattel owns toys that are a little more relevant that they could have made a better movie out
Yeah,
of.
I feel like, I feel like, I don't know, we're all in our mid 40s. Like, I feel like even us, we're on like the fringes of like He-Man, because He-Man like was done by like 85. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I don't know, I feel like they made this movie 20 years too late because
Yeah,
you missed like the nostalgia wave for it.
Well, the
But
nostalgia wave in the movie is Dolph Lundgren is in the movie briefly.
right, of course.
It's a great
yeah.
moment though. He's actually it's pretty cool to see Dolph.
I mean, we all love Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah. Uh
Saw a TikTok of Dolph Lundgren and the guy from the movie and a wax figure of He-Man doing the Spider-Man
Oh,
meme, all
that's
just
funny.
pointing at each other.
that's fun.
I'd say I do like that.
If that was in the movie, it would have been better. Um, I watched 1964's Woman in the Dunes, a Japanese
Oh
independent
yeah.
movie.
Hell of a roller coaster you went on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Then I watched
It,
Sharknado.
Yeah. I
um,
watched He-Man and then I watched La Age d'Or.
Yeah, no shark.
Woman in the Dunes is amazing.
Yeah,
If you
it's
guys haven't
really
seen it,
good.
like
Yeah,
it's the story of like a entomologist who's going in the desert looking for rare beetles, and then he misses his bus back to Tokyo and ends up spending the night with a woman who lives in the dunes. And her house is in like a crater kind of, or like a depression where the sand just keeps burying the house every day. So she has to constantly shovel her house out to keep it from being buried. And it becomes just like a fascinating study of like the Sisyphean nature of existence. And I don't know. It's cool because it's like, you know, if you're sometimes you're the entomologist, sometimes you're the bug in a jar kind of thing. So yeah, I recommend it. It was really, really cool. It's one of those things where you're like, oh shit, like amazing movies have
Movies
been
can be
made.
good.
Yeah, they can be good. They can be old and good, right? Like it
Oh
doesn't even
yeah.
have to be that it's like a newer movie that's good.
And it
Um,
looks incredible.
it
Like
really
the
does. Oh, it's gorgeous.
cinematography in it, and like it's just yeah, it's one of those like that was like an early one for me when I was in my like younger, like turning into a fucking cine weirdo like kind of
When you were
phase.
like 4.
No, like I definitely I think I watched that movie like I don't know, it's
Was,
probably like 19.
was it
Like
a
I was
movie
in
you
my
got at Suncoast for $75?
I no, I got that. I watched that when Netflix still mailed you DVDs.
Oh
That's
shit.
how long ago that was when I watched it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Hey
Uh,
Nate, while we're
yeah.
talking about Japanese movies, just because I watched one a couple of weeks ago, and have you ever watched any of the Beat Takashi movies, the Takashi Kintaro movies? Like I feel
I
like
don't know
you'd
that
like
I
him.
have. I should.
He deals with like a lot of the same themes, like in that, like a lot of like existentialism and like where we are and just life in general. But like he always couches them in like odd stories. Like I watched this movie called The Violent Cop a few months ago, and it's like the strangest movie, but like its overall like messages and themes are like very odd inside of like a cop revenge movie. Like I think you'd like his stuff. You should
Cool.
watch some of his movies because they're very good. And he's got like the strangest like offbeat charisma that I don't think I can't really compare him to like any other actor. Like he's a very strange. He has a very strange energy, but
Well,
I
he's a
love.
comedian that looks very
Yeah,
serious all the time. Like,
yeah. And I mean, like
Nice.
in Japan, like he was known as a like a goofball, but he makes these
yeah,
very like serious, like
he did
kind of
Most
heady
Extreme
movies.
Challenge or whatever it was
Yeah,
called in Japan.
yeah, and
Okay.
you also may know
Cool.
him from he's the teacher in Battle Royal. If
Oh,
you've
no
seen
shit.
Battle Royal,
Okay.
An
that's it.
inferior battle royal movie.
Yeah, God, that movie rules. But anyway, sorry.
The last thing that I watched was a good movie, and it is new. I went to see Disclosure Day finally,
Hmm.
It's good.
and I
It
loved
looks
it.
like I thought it looked like dog shit.
Yeah, no interest.
You're the only person that I've heard that liked it. Like I've heard nothing but like really bad things about it, but I haven't
I
seen it,
I
so
mean, it's like it's doing all the classic Spielberg stuff. It's like an engrossing kind of chase movie. You know, you've got your kind
Like
of
Ready Player One.
yeah, exactly like Ready Player One classic Spielberg. Um, No, you know, it's got kind of a MacGuffin thing. Like the whole aliens thing isn't really what the movie is about. Like it is the driving force of the movie, but like I don't know, the last 30 minutes especially were remarkable. Like I got to the point where I was like crying because it's really a movie about how like the thing that we don't remember is that we're insignificant, and because we can't remember that, we can't connect with anybody or be
oh, I
curious
remember it
about
all the
anything.
time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Every time I
Well,
drop
yeah,
my pants.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I just, it's just like I don't know, it's just society-wide, culturally, like as humanity, it was just interesting because I thought it was great. Emily Blunt is amazing in it. And yeah, like, is it the best Spielberg movie? No. Is it something where you're like, is there a real mystery? Not really. Like the most of the mystery is what are they do? What are we building to? Not
Right.
what are we going to see the alien stuff? Because it's like, well, yeah, there's aliens, and of course, like the movie's already got the name it's got, right? Um, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. I thought it's like a very human movie. It very much just feels like, Spielberg's 70 something years old and he's talking about shit that he's thinking about. Like we're losing our faith and we're losing our ability to believe in anything. And that's making us hard and stupid and horrible. And it's like, yeah, I agree. So it won me over.
I'll watch it when I eventually get it on the Plex. I will definitely check it out.
Sean,
I watched a thing. Well,
a thing.
Thing.
yeah, I watched the first two episodes of the new season of Beef. That's really good. I like the original. This one's like even darker and less funny, but still pretty good. But the movie I watched was Obsession.
Hmm.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. I think I'm
Uh,
kind of late to it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just saw this article yesterday. So Obsession has become the most profitable film ever made,
Well, no
which is
shit. It
kind of
cost like less than $1 million and it made
it,
like 350 or
yeah,
something.
$750,000 budget and it's made $300 million. I mean, and it's great. Like, I love the movie. We've talked about it a couple of times on the show, but it's cool that like a guy that like just made the movie he wanted to make and like did it on no budget, made this
Yeah.
fucking banger of a movie that is resonated. Like, I don't know, the thing that I like the most about that movie is like, like when I watched it, I was a little worried about its like mass appeal because I thought it was kind of niche and I thought it was like very like, I don't know, it deals with stuff that I didn't think would like jump out at like a huge audience. I thought it would be a movie that had its following, be successful, but this thing is like massive. And I just think it's really cool, that you have that like super independent of a thing that's come this massive hit. And I've said it before, but everybody go watch Curry Baker's short films because all his short films are absolutely, they're all on
The
YouTube
chair is
and
really good.
the chair is great. Milk and Cereal is like unbelievably good. And he's like, I mean, he's a guy that like I was so excited when I saw the initial teaser for Obsession. I was like, this guy is going to kill it. Like, and Obsession is great. But anyway, Sean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. One, it's pretty amazing that a man wrote this movie. So
Yeah.
like that is it's cool because it's one of those movies where there's like so much discourse about it, and I like that better than like it just because everybody's got a theory and they're pulling on threads, and I really like that versus like why is this Star Wars movie bad, which is most of movie
Right.
discourse
Yeah.
anymore. Like what specifically about the Star Wars movie is terrible. I think it's a movie. This is going to be kind of like this isn't like damning with faint praise, but it's a movie where the execution is much better than the like premise. Like the
Yeah.
premise, you've seen the premise a million times. It's a monkey's paw
It's a monkey
slash
paw.
like love potion movie,
Yeah.
and like you've seen it, and it could have been really bad. I guess somebody there was some kind of offer from some other production company to make it with another director or some shit, and they're like, "Well, we would ruin it." So like I don't want to do it. I forget what the whole story was.
Well, they wanted a version of the movie where Bear wasn't the bad guy.
Oh,
And
well
he's like, yeah,
that's like
I'm
the
not.
point of the
It
movie.
literally guts the entire movie. So like, yeah, and which is hilarious because like you said, there's a lot of discourse around this movie. And there's a lot of people that just I don't know what movie they watched. The takes that I've read on this movie, it's like, did you watch the movie? Like
Yeah.
it's not subtle with like what it's
No.
trying to say.
I think that's more of an issue with the person thinking
Oh,
Yeah.
like, well, it's
absolutely.
justified to get what you want from somebody,
Well,
right?
it's
Which
it's
is
it it
problematic.
reminded me of, and it's similar but different obviously, but it reminded me of the discourse around Midsummer where they're like, well, Christian didn't deserve what happened to him, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, did you understand what the movie was like trying to say? Like, if you think that,
Well,
there's kind
most
of a
of that
problem with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Like,
most of the that kind of discourse that I think you're talking about is the all men doesn't include me. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
like
100%,
Yeah.
yeah.
absolutely.
I
I
mean, and what
I
you can go broad stroke and say like things that happen to people in horror movies they don't deserve because yeah, technically like we don't have a retributive reality that way, right? Like
Right,
these are
exactly.
exaggerated versions of what happens.
yeah. And I really love the call my nephew Jody part where it's like he has to call about the customer service line. And it's like,
That's like,
do you
Yes.
want to rescind your wish? And he's like, no. And then he goes back. He's like, I want to rescind my wish. He's like, we don't do that. It reminded me a lot of like a Riley Stearns movie for that
yeah,
part.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, but
That
no,
whole
I
That's
scene is so good. Like that's such
that
a
yeah.
like haunting
that's
scene.
actually
Yeah.
Curry Baker on the phone. The
Oh
guy at
shit.
the like customer service, that's
Yeah.
Curry Baker's voice. But that scene is so haunting where he's like, "Do you want to talk to her?" And it's just that
Yeah.
weird, like ethereal, like hell
Yeah.
scream, and it's just like, oh my god, like that scene is so fucking intense, but also kind of funny. Like it's weird how he kind of like he skirts that line. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's very masterfully done because it's like it it like skirts the line. It understands how kind of absurd what's happening is, but it's still like
Yeah.
incredibly dark and like disturbing. I don't, again, it's
Well,
fucking
I
incredible.
do like that they just let it be this magic thing with no real explanation. Like when he wishes for the
Thank
billion
God.
dollars at the end or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it just
Right.
happens. It's like, okay, we're good. We've all got on board with this, and we don't need to go to the stick factory or find out what ancient witch and
Thank
who gives a
God.
fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it was really good.
Well,
Um,
glad you liked it.
yeah. So TJ,
I watched one thing.
One thing.
I it's so funny. Excuse me. I really wanted to go see Supergirl just to see it because I've been hearing so many bad things about it, and I was like, well, I should go see it. And then Sunday morning came around, and I just like couldn't motivate myself to go to the theater. I was like, nah, I don't really feel like going. So instead, I watched a movie I've been meaning to watch for a couple of weeks called Exit 8, which is like a
Mhm.
Japanese like liminal horror movie, which is based on a game I've never played. Um, and there's good and bad. The thing is like, so apparently in the game, you're stuck in this like subway loop, and every time you start the loop, you have to like, there's like rules, and you have to like, it says like you start at this one level and you have to go down this hallway and you have to look at all these things in this hallway, and if you see an anomaly, and they don't explain what an anomaly is, but if you see an anomaly, you have to go back to the beginning because that will ascend you to the next level, but if you don't, then you got to start over again. It's a very simple kind of premise. My issue is that the movie, like, it feels like it's almost too much like the video game, because that it's just that, right? Like you just keep doing that loop over and over and over again, and the anomalies that happen aren't that interesting. And like there's like a big aspect of this movie that I like liminal horror. I like the idea of being like, like something like a PT, that demo that we never got the full game of, where it's just like you're stuck in that apartment hallway over and over and over. I think that inherently is like terrifying to be like just stuck. I have like nightmares about that, like being stuck in like an endless loop. And I love that. And like the execution is okay, and they do some things. I won't spoil the movie, but they do some things to kind of break that up. But like overall, it just felt like a movie that should have been a half an hour long because it felt like padding. And the ultimate resolution of the movie is just kind of meh. Like I don't know, like I was kind of waiting for like a big set piece to happen, and it kind of never does. Like there's a few little things that I thought were really interesting in the movie, but it wasn't enough to kind of justify its runtime for me. Like I didn't think it was bad, but I just felt like it's a perfect example of something that would have been a perfectly serviceable like short film that they're like, oh shit, we got to make this feature length. So we just got to kind of add shit over and over, and it's just like it didn't really work. Um, Also, it's funny because I was as I usually do, I like read what people say about the movie, and like this one person was the movie is very clear. There's like in Japan, there's a problem with like the birth rate over there. Like they have like a crisis right now with young people in Japan like aren't having kids, and there's like a huge through line in the movie about that, about parenthood and stuff. And it's funny because like this guy was like criticizing people that didn't like the movie. It's like, well, you don't understand like Japanese culture. You don't understand. Like the movie makes it obvious like that's what it's about. I didn't know the full extent of that. And there's little like things like at one point there's like this locker that's in the subway, and apparently in Japan like people like leave babies in these fucking
yeah, bro,
lockers.
didn't you play fucking like a dragon?
Oh yeah, that's right. But I mean again, without knowing that specific instance, like I still got the message that they were trying to come across. Like I didn't understand, you know what I mean? Like I didn't think it was hard to pick up, and I understood like the cultural thing they're trying to say. I don't know. Overall, like I said, it's like a 6. Like it's not bad. It has some interesting ideas, but again, I haven't seen Iron Lung that Nate saw a few weeks ago, but I felt like the criticism he had with that movie, where it's like it's too slavish to the game, like because that's also based on a video game, and Nate said that like it kind of sacrifices like the movie quality of it because they want to be truthful to the game. That's what this movie felt like, because it just felt like what the game is. Because I googled like some playthroughs of the game, and it's like the same thing. And like on one hand, like I appreciate like making an adaptation that's like very close to its source material, but at the same time, I think you have to like when you're changing media, you have to understand like, well, this is a movie now, so make it. I need to make this adaptation worthwhile. I need to make it a movie. Remaking like shot for shot something of the source material doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
because if you make a Metal Gear movie in 20 minutes, the snake is just running around like behind a banister because he can't figure out how to get to the next room. That's probably not going to be super compelling.
yeah, I mean, I'll make a comparison that's probably not 100% apt, but I mean, I always go to Watchmen, right? Like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. Like, most of that movie is like panel for panel, like Watchmen, like on an aesthetic level, but like it's not right. Like you didn't do it correctly because you missed all the subtext and the nuance of that story. And it's like kind of the same thing where it's just like I felt like the movie needed a rewrite to understand like what makes this horrific. Like why I don't know. Again, it's not bad. It's not like the worst thing I've watched. I if you're into like liminal horror spaces, like it's you're not gonna hate your time with the movie. I just felt like it could have been better. So yeah, that's all I watched. I did watch what 3 episodes of the new X-Men '97, which is fantastic. I really liked it. I've been reading a lot of comic books lately. I made it my goal over the holiday break to go and read all of my giant to read pile. I buy comics every week, but I like literally have like a 3-year backlog of comics. Like I was reading these comics and like they have ads for stuff and it's like 2022. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But shout out to X-Men, all the fucking how do you say how do you say that? The fucking island,
Krakoa.
like, Krakoa, all the Krakoa stuff, like the post Hickman Krakoa stuff is so fucking good. They did this like Age of Apocalypse type of thing with Mr. Sinister, where Mr. Sinister basically like I don't want to get into the whole story, but in the Hickman Krakoa stuff, they introduced Moira McTaggart is a mutant, and her mutant ability is basically every time she dies, the timeline resets. And if you haven't read like House of X and all that stuff, like that book is great, but they keep like jumping on this premise. So basically, Mr. Sinister, who is like a geneticist, obviously, he makes all these Moira clones. So he keeps making new timelines like with these clones, and it's fucking insane. It's like high science fiction, like it's fucking crazy because like he makes these timelines that go like 10,000 years in the future, but he also makes these clones where he calls them save points so he can go back to where it was. And like, it's fucking wild. Like, and on the surface, you're like, okay, they're doing another like Age of Apocalypse thing, which is kind of tired. I mean, I feel like they've gone to that well so many times. The story is so clever and where it ends up at the end to like lead into the rest of the books, so fucking good. So shout out to comic books. They're great. They're very good. Also, if you're looking to catch up on comic books, Marvel has an app, and it's funny because like I have all these books like physically here, but my eyes are getting bad. It's better for me to read these comics on my iPad because it's just a better viewing experience for me. Marvel Unlimited, they have an app that's $10 a month, and it's literally like everything, new books, old books, and I was able to read the majority of those comics through the app so that I would like read the comics and then put them away, the actual physical ones in. So yeah, go comic books. They're very good right now.
Hell yeah.
That's all I watched.
Sean, you'll be happy with the new X-Men. The first episode is all the like Clan Ascani.
Dude, it's
Oh
so
hell
good.
yeah!
It's
With
so good. That
fucking
X-Men, like,
Nathan Dayspring as Scotty Clan Summers.
dude,
Yep.
all that the X-Men '97 stuff is like perfect. Like, it's so
I
well
like
done.
like my real like favorite era is the Muir Island saga, the Portasio X Factor, where they go to
Oh
the moon to
yeah,
kill Apocalypse, and then rolls into the Larry Stroman X Factor.
underrated. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Anyway,
X-Men's great. X-Men's a lot of fun. X-Men's a cool, like, I don't know, the thing that as I was watching X-Men '97 and reading all those comics, like, I don't know, there's something cool about X-Men where like it's superhero story, obviously, like every other superhero comic, but like I like when they like lean into like weird, like super weird shit. Like all the Krakoa stuff is like weird sci-fi concepts, and like it's not like that's not something that's been done before. But I like when they go like super crazy, like these big giant ideas, and Mr. Sinister, the whole reason he starts all these timelines is he wants to become this like omnipresent like AI called Dominion, basically, that's going to like overtake, like basically it's like this like
Gonna run the
god,
American voting system.
yeah, more or less. But it's this god level like thing, and like there's a line in the book where like he's trying to figure, like he can't ascend and he can't figure out why he's wrong, but then he finds out in like another timeline that this godlike entity has already been created. So once it's been created once, it's already like it already exists forever, which is like kind of like a cool, like again, it's just like very like I don't know, 70s sci-fi, like giant ideas. Like I love shit like that. But anyway, what
That
happened?
rules.
Is that everybody? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Again,
yeah, that's
sorry I'm
everybody.
late.
Yeah,
I
you're good.
I was a sleepy boy.
Yeah.
So what happened in Juice?
Juice, the tragedy of Juice.
That was a
Uh,
good one.
That all I could think of was that. Every time I was like, that was a good one.
Well, it starts out with Rakim's title track, which is like, okay, I'm in right away. I've seen this movie like 30 times.
the
Uh,
titles on this movie are amazing. Like
yeah.
I was immediately like, oh no, this movie's gonna fucking rule
So
because all of
Ernest
this is
Dickerson shot Do the Right Thing and most of like the good Spike Lee movies, and everybody knows I'm into Spike Lee
Sure.
apologia. So like this movie looks excellent for like
Oh yeah.
you take like I'm sorry, Nate, to cut you off already,
Oh, go ahead.
but
Yeah.
like one of his contemporaries and kind of like I don't know, this is kind of like post exploitation. I'm not sure what you would call this genre. Like it's kind of collectively called hood movies, but I
Hood
think that's
movie,
kind
yeah.
of cheap. Um, like you take like a John Singleton movie, which also has Omar Epps, and it's like overwrought and goofy. And this feels like almost documentary style. Like it's a very good looking movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
not
this
without
is
its goofiness though. I will
No,
say,
no,
but yeah,
because
yeah, it looks
ultimately
great.
this is a horror movie, right? Like this is a
yeah.
horror movie where violence possesses Bishop, and that's the thing, right? Like because it
Yeah.
doesn't really it like that's the formula. That's the format of the movie. Um God, yeah, but it is. It's beautiful. Like it's great to look at, and it's very it's engrossing in this like it grabs you and gives you this slice of time that I don't think. I mean, I certainly didn't experience directly. I don't know that any of I can't speak
No.
for everybody on the show, but
No, we
like,
were like 11 or 12 when this movie was
so
made
yeah,
and came
so
out. So like, so
we're
some of the
kids
slang
and
I
yeah,
find like somewhat impenetrable. You know what I mean? Because it was like a couple years before us. Um, but also like, go ahead, Nate.
but yeah, that level of DJ culture, right?
Yeah,
Like the idea of DJ battles and things like that that are going on,
yeah.
and just the this essence of what again, like what it means to be a man in
Well, it's
a
it's weird, right?
marginalized.
Because it's ostensibly about children who never have the opportunity to be children.
Yeah,
Like they're forced to like function as adults without having like kind of like the wherewithal or the experience to like propel them to it. You know what I mean?
This movie has a very like I felt like it has a similar message as another movie I really like called City of God. Kind of
Yeah.
has a similar
Hmm.
premise
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
message. Like, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
because there's
also
I was gonna
it's
say there's a little bit of a Lord of the Flies thing here too, where
yeah.
it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
It is also insane that this is both Omar Epps and Tupac's first roles because like
they're both
they are
incredibly good.
excellent.
Like
Yeah.
it is, I mean, R.I.P. Tupac, no matter what, but like
He was great in this.
he was an exceptional actor. He's 20 in
Yeah.
this. He's 20 years old making this movie, and
I kind of feel like
Shout out to the
Epps
Baltimore
is like
School for the
17 or
Arts.
something.
Tupac makes
Yeah.
the movie for me. I feel like
Yeah.
he's like the most compelling part of this movie. Like he's incredibly
Yeah,
charismatic through the whole thing, and like he, you know, I can't remember, we were talking about some actor, but like he's got that intangible thing, right? Like he's like as soon as he was on screen, you're like, well, I want to see this guy more. Like
It's the
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Like he
yeah,
has
he's
like
so
very
good.
yeah.
He has the pathos in his eyes where you can see like, oh, this kid is broken. Like this kid is afraid,
Yeah.
and he's doing everything he can to seem like he's not. And that's what makes it so possible to kind of relate to him through the first two thirds of the movie anyway. And then he's like so far heel turn that it
I
becomes
mean, we'll
difficult.
get into it. My issues with the movie is I feel like his heel turn isn't handled that well. Like it's one of those things where I get what they're going for, but I felt like it could have been handled a little better. Maybe I'm
It does
standing
feel like
alone on this.
it does. No, it feels like the movie's kind of in a rush to get there, and I
Yeah.
think like I mean, we'll talk about the plot, but it's not like a super like intricate plot. So, like the movie's like very concerned with like establishing that you understand what a DJ does, and I think they could have used
Yeah.
some of one of
Yeah.
those two DJ scenes to kind of like give Bishop a little bit more to do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you have to make the leap that obviously his father was in prison and he ended up all fucked up, and it's like pushed him in like a bad direction, and like he has no like he doesn't have any kind of like positive figure to kind of like steer him back. But it's just you like it feels like there's like an entire act of the movie almost missing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. It's well, because it really it feels like a play. Like it
Yeah,
feels like it's like, hey, okay, act two, we're doing a robbery and a murder. And he's the one who's going to do it. And we don't have any build up for that other than the one moment. Well, anyway, we'll talk plot. So, Bishop, Q, Raheem, and Steele are all friends. They live in Harlem. They're growing up in Harlem together. They're hanging out in an arcade instead of going to school. Samuel L. Jackson's complaining that syrup does not a pancake make, and they're playing Street Fighter One.
Yeah.
Um,
Which no
and
one did.
no,
Sean said it in the
it's
text. Like,
completely unplayable.
yeah, Street Fighter One is a wildly terrible game.
They're also getting like picked on by like Bishop specifically is getting picked on by this like Puerto Rican gang, I guess, that's in town. And they're just it seems like it's just kind of a race slash whatever power thing, but they're just pushing him around kind of thing. So
This is like it is kind of funny because this is a New York that like does not exist, like it hasn't for
yeah.
a long time.
Yeah, because the idea, like, I mean, I'm sure the parts of Harlem we're talking about. I mean, even the notion that like four black kids walking through Central Park could like spook a businessman to walk off the trail and like hide behind a tree.
Well, where
I
they
mean,
live now,
possible.
it is full of gastropubs in Bill Clinton's office. Like that
Right.
doesn't exist anymore either.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Q, Omar Epps is into DJing, so he's making mixtapes. He's selling said mixtapes on their ability to have gotten you laid at a party and raising rates at that on that metric. Um, so they're just kind of hanging out and goofing around, and it seems like kind of everything's idyllic. They're a true foursome of best bros cruising
Well,
around.
it's very tropey for the time because they've got like the pretty light skinned guy, the fat guy, like the cute as the DJ is like the athlete kind of like prototype instead of like him being a basketball player as a DJ, and then you got like the lunatic.
And
The
yeah,
fat guy,
and
the fat
Bishop's
guy kills me. The fat guy is the funniest character in this movie. Like,
oh,
Yeah.
he's great.
we'll get into his horrific cooking later on, but there's a scene in this movie that I don't think I'll ever forget in my entire life.
It's like fucking Gummo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We also see like Bishop, his father has been released from prison, I guess, and he is sliding money into the breast pocket of his shirt. Well, and it's clear that he's the man of the house at this point, and he's trying to figure out who he is or what he means. But they're not communicating these things to each other because this isn't a movie about men being able to talk to each other. It's a movie about the other things we deal with.
It's
Um,
also super gay.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I mean,
Very
it's like
gay.
1992. That's like all
Yeah.
movies were pretty much that way in 1992. So Bishop gets pissed off because these guys keep picking on him, and then one day does he witness the shoot the hold up in the bar?
No, that's Q.
That's
But
Q
before you
does.
get there, I want to talk briefly about the New York City
Yeah.
Police Department truancy squad.
Oh yes, with
It's like
Michael Baldaluco from was he NYPD Blue? He was one of the TV
yeah.
cop shows.
There's like six of these guys that are chasing them for being truant on foot through like all these buildings, like off rooftops, again for truancy. But they also are like, come on, guys, knock it off. Like, if the NYPD is chasing four black kids through Harlem, they're definitely shooting at all of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's a very
exactly.
like incongruent, like what are we doing? Is this a Chekhov's roof situation? Or are we just introducing the concept of roofs to the movie?
I mean, they
Yeah.
kind of are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does live in kind of a cute fantasy for the first act where like, oh, they're just, a group of rapscallions goofing off,
Yeah.
doing whatever, and there's not really any real consequences other than getting chased. Uh so yeah, they then everything starts getting broken up because Q goes into a bar and sees a buddy. And then that guy pulls out a shotgun and holds up everybody in the bar. And he's like, "Hey, do you want to hang out and do the crime with me?" And
Right.
Q's like,
Yeah.
"No, I'd prefer not to do the crime, thanks." And he leaves. He gets to go. And he goes out and tells the rest of the guys. And I think that's when Bishop kind of gets like, he's like, what are you talking about? Like we could get the juice? Is that where the premise gets laid?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Is it's like, oh, we need to get respect so that we can stop being picked on. And we could have gotten it if we did that. So we have to do something like that ourselves. Uh,
Yeah, that's correct.
Meanwhile, Q is planning, there's a DJ competition. Queen Latifah runs an underground warehouse DJ competition that is all the best and the brightest. It's got
There
like,
are roughly 12 million people waiting in line to enter this contest.
yeah, yeah, it's like, I don't know, Street Fighter rave level kind of
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Um, so he's gonna go do this. He's doing this DJ competition. He does well in his first battle, but in between they decide to go rob the local convenience store because they know that no one will be in there but the guy that owns it. So they go in to rob it, and everything just goes ass up immediately because Bishop clearly just wants to shoot the guy, and then he does. He shoots him in the head. Everybody panics, and they run
Yeah, and
out
he
of
shoots him
there.
for like absolutely like no reason
Yeah,
because
he
they
doesn't.
already
Yeah,
got the money. The guy's like got his back turned, like he doesn't have a weapon or anything, and he just shoots him anyway.
yeah. So they run away, and they all end up at like an abandoned building. So then they have an argument because it's like, hey, why did you shoot that guy? Well, he made a move. Um, Everybody's feeling really bad about it, and they're just kind of getting, I don't know, they get into an argument, and Raheem, who's the cute one, the conscience of the group, like tries to take the gun away from Bishop, and Bishop and then fight, and then he ends up shooting Raheem. So now we've already killed one of the three. Boom. And there's absolutely no remorse from Bishop after this. So they all run to another building, and Bishop threatens to kill the other two guys if they say anything. And then we get an interrogation montage that pretty much comes next, right? Uh,
Yeah, that this scene is really good, by the way. Tupac's excellent in this interrogation scene.
yes, because every time they cut to Tupac, he is like on his fifth cigarette, and he's just sitting there like, "Yeah, man, I don't know what to tell you." Like, there's lots of
Yeah,
weird
he
Yeah,
shit
smokes
going on.
cigarettes for real. I appreciated
he
that.
feels like a hardened criminal where everyone
Yeah.
else is still like dealing with the ramifications that like two people are dead now, and like Tupac seems completely unfazed by the entire
Well, he's like
situation.
he has evolved into a sociopath at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is a sort of thing that points to like how bad are these cops at their jobs, because if you have three guys who were all kind of in the same area and they have very vastly different stories and reactions, that you've probably discovered something.
Yeah.
Also, like
Um
you're talking about, this is not that long after the Central Park Five. They didn't need evidence to put black kids away in New York at this era. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's paving over that and to let itself play out, which is fine because I think ultimately this is a very good movie.
yeah.
Um so Q's having a lot of regrets about all this stuff. Um,
I don't know if you're going to gloss over this because I think it's already happened a couple times, but Q also has an adult girlfriend
oh,
in the
yes.
movie, which like, and I've seen this movie a bunch of times, and I was always like under the impression that the movie that it was just to be in there to like give him the not gaze. But I think watching it now, it's like, oh, this is another reminder of him trying to be involved in like things that are for adults, but really not knowing how to navigate it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because it's kind of a
Also,
yeah, it's kind of a mom relationship
Yeah.
sexual relationship thing.
Yeah. Also, like there is like, and there's a pretty long essay I think by FD Signifier kind of about like sexual abuse in like these kind of communities from women to young boys that doesn't really get talked about a lot. So I don't know if they're trying to make like a kind of like cultural talk about it or what. I might be adding it to the movie because it's like really superfluous. Other than the
Yeah,
fact that she also works at the hospital, but you also don't really need that.
Yeah.
true.
No, but it is interesting because when they're stealing the records for him so that he can do his mixing and stuff, he hits on like a girl who's of contemporary age to him
Yeah, she,
and is kind
she's
of
like a
big timing that.
yeah, she's like a girl that Martin would play in a show.
Yes,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
She wants to get the whole grill done though.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Bishop ends up telling the detectives that the Puerto Rican gang did it. That they he thinks they killed him. Uh, so basically Q and Steele, the fat kid, both are like, hey, Bishop's maybe like hooked on killing. He's like getting a thrill off doing this. So they're
Just
gonna
can't.
avoid him.
I can't stop killing.
Yeah.
Like Crumbopulous
Fabulous.
Michael.
So they're gonna stay away from him. And then at Raheem's funeral, Bishop is there and he's like comforting the mother and sister and stuff, and everybody gets like uncomfortable about that. He's
Is it
promising to
normal
find the
to
real
have
killer.
like a fully catered funeral? Is that just something that is that a cultural thing that I'm not aware of? Because I don't think I've ever been to a funeral that was
Well,
like
like
fully catered.
I
Awake.
mean, not maybe not the funeral itself, but like
Oh
the
yeah,
wake. Well, or whatever Protestants call the wake, the viewing. I forget
yeah,
what it is,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, so he's really just showing off now. He's like, "Oh, I'll find the killer." He's pulling an OJ. Um, and they're just Q is just trying to avoid, and I think okay,
well, there's a second DJ competition where he's very
that
distracted by the
that's right.
events that have transpired up to this point.
Yeah, because we're cutting in between the stuff that happened and him trying to do his DJing. It's not working. Um, so yeah, then I guess Bishop goes after the Puerto Rican guys after that.
Oh yeah. Though he gets them. He gets them
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, because he kills the leader of the Puerto Rican guys, leaves him in an alley, and he's gonna plan to frame Q for the murder.
All the murders.
Yeah, yeah,
He
he's just
yeah,
gonna
he's
frame
gonna
Q.
frame them for everything. Yeah.
So Steele hears about this, tells Q. Q goes and gets his own gun, but then Bishop comes after Steele and shoots him. But he doesn't shoot him dead. He shoots him in the belly or something, right?
Yeah,
Um,
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's this is another this movie for whatever reason, like I talked about this with Sean a little bit. This movie has some like really bad ADR that like I don't understand why it's in there. The fat guy after he gets shot and he's not dead and they rush him to the hospital, there's there's a doctor that's like just standing there and he's talking to somebody else. And there's an ADR line that's like, he'll be fine, but he's still in the gurney. Like, they haven't even taken him off. Like, how do you know that? He's got a bullet hole in his fucking chest. It's like, he'll be fine. Like, what? Like, it's such a weird. And I wonder, I guess they put it in there because if you don't have that in there, like, it looks like he's about to die. I mean, by all logic, he should have been dead. Like, it's very odd. I don't know.
yeah, I
Anyway.
mean, this movie is incredibly tight runtime wise, so I think a lot of it is, hey, we just got to make sure everything's got to be clear
Yeah,
before we move on.
I think you're right, but like there is some like really distracting ADR for me, and like we missed it, but there's a part the part I was talking about with the fat guy. There's a part where they're all in his apartment, and he's making eggs, bacon and eggs, which look awful. Like it looks so bad, and then he's drinking a 40, and he's like guzzling the 40, and then he just dumps some of the 40 in the eggs and the bacon, which is like the most like horrific thing I've ever like put like I think I said to Alec he was making like a beer reduction. Like he was like trying to like make a beer roux or something. Oh
There's
God.
also, I think it's at this part where Tuvok's very intensely watching White Heat with James Cagney. Like
Yes.
That's
again,
what
like
that was. I could not
Yeah.
place what that movie was.
I
Yeah.
guess like he's again like internalizing like, oh, this is cool, this is what I need to do, I need to be this guy, like look at me, I'm top of the world, which I guess is like a foreshadowing also.
Yeah. It's just wild that that's the movie that you pick.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there's not
I mean,
anything more contemporary than that, but I guess,
probably in
it's
public
not much
domain.
different than someone who's in their like teens watching this movie today.
Yeah, and you also have to remember at the time, like, they're watching just something that's on television, so some weird old movie makes sense. Like, and again, they probably didn't have to pay to use it, I would guess. That's
Yeah.
also probably why they did it. So
So yeah, there's Q doesn't actually want to kill anybody. So he's like, whatever, I'm gonna throw the gun away. So he gets rid of his gun.
Sean, I'm sorry, Nate.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
this when he goes to that old lady to get the gun, that lady reminded me of the what's her name, Hakako in Cyberpunk, the old like Chinese
Oh
lady.
yeah, 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 with
Like
the
it
fucking
reminded,
sword. Yeah,
yeah,
it also like weirdly enough reminded me of like the Chinese lady in the Luke Cage
yeah,
miniseries that you and I
yeah,
were just talking about
yeah,
recently.
exactly.
She
Yeah.
gives him like the dinkiest gun.
She gives him like this little. I wish Gogs was here. She gives him like
Yeah.
the shittiest gun I've ever seen. And it's like, here you go.
It's
And
like
she
a
must have
little,
given
it's like an ankle holster gun.
right. We all got derringers, but like she also must have given Tupac like a million bullets because he never reloads that gun. Like he just never runs out of bullets. I thought that was going to be a plot point at some point because it's just a
Infinite
revolver. But
ammo.
yeah, he's got like an infinite ammo clip on that thing. I know it's a revolver. It's a
Yeah.
joke. Gogs doesn't listen to the show when he's not on, so he won't be yelling at
Yeah.
me. He's like, that gun doesn't actually have a clip, TJ.
Well, actually,
Well, actually, Gogs
Actually, it
is
has six
our
clips.
he's our preeminent ballistics expert on the show.
yeah.
So
So Q throws his gun away though, and he's gonna go talk to Bishop. He's just like, fine, we'll have a classic face off before the
yes,
movie
a
face off.
tete-a-tete.
So they meet up and they get into a fight, and Q's able to knock the gun away from Bishop, and then there's scrambling around, they're rolling, tussling, and then Bishop shoots him in the arm. So then now we got a chase going, and the movie's just flying at this point. So
Yeah.
Q runs into like an apartment building that's doors are open, and he's just in like what is a 3-story party from the scene
Yeah.
from the look of
Yeah.
things. So he's moving through this
Well,
apartment building.
it felt like some sort of like I don't know why I got this vibe. It's either a
Like
party or
Jacob's Ladder.
like an art gallery or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like because they had like like stuff like displays or something. It looked like
Well,
people were
I
going
think
to
you're
look at.
also used to like these kind of buildings now being like weird art co-ops.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that. Maybe I'm
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
that into that. Anyway,
Also,
it doesn't
this is
really
the great
matter.
scene where he follows him into the elevator, the crowded elevator, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Shoot me in an
And he
elevator?"
shoots, yeah,
And he does.
He does, yeah.
He does win commanded pretty much. Um, and then like in a very Spider-Man 2 kind of moment, like everybody in New York is just grabbing the gun and pushing him away and everything. Like people are running away, but like there's a not Q is the one who disarms him, and then another guy picks the gun up and pockets it because the
Yeah.
cycle of violence must continue. So Q chases Bishop through this party. We see just a bunch of people are hanging out, getting stoned, whatever, uh, doing what they do, and he chases him up onto the roof. And they get into a fight, and they fall onto Mike Tyson's pigeons, which I was sad because I saw the pigeons, and I was like, "No, don't fall on them. They're not hurting
Yeah.
anybody."
Uh,
But they fall on the pigeons. Tupac takes some of the worst 2x4 swings I've seen in my life.
oh my God,
Um,
yeah.
But what are you gonna do? You don't actually want to hit Omar Epps with the 2x4. And then they are fighting and like get Tupac gets rolled over the ledge
Dude. Okay.
and holding on by a hand like
This
the movie
scene.
cliffhanger.
But hang on,
This scene-
I hate the entire ending of this movie, by the way. But
yeah.
pause real quick. On the 25th, there's an anniversary edition of this movie, and there is an alternate cut of this part.
Mhm.
Nate, were you going to talk about this?
Yeah, I read about it, so go ahead.
Okay. So in this scene, like he's holding him, and then he just kind of like loses grip and falls. In the cut version of it, they hear the sirens, and Tupac says something like, "I'm not going to jail," and he lets go, which
Mhm.
is
That's
a
a better. That's
million
so
times
much
better.
better.
And I have no idea, other than like maybe a studio note, like why they didn't go with that. Also,
That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah, because
much
it's an
better.
infinitely
That's an
better ending.
I've had a bone to pick with this since 1991 or whatever. I've always hated "You Got the Juice Now," man. Although I would have told you that the line was "You got the juice now." Q. He turns around. The entire population of this building is on the roof,
Yeah.
and it's like, first of all, how long have you all been up here?
right, right.
Like, could nobody have intervened at any point? Like,
Well, not and they also already intervened when they took the gun away, so they're
yeah,
already invested. You think, yeah.
you
Um,
got the juice now, man.
you got the juice is bad. That's a terrible line. I think it's silly. It's almost like, but hold
It
on.
also implies that they were all like aware of what was happening up till the
Of
point
the
they entered the
juice.
building.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
I
they
mean,
there
were.
because
was some,
it is too finely underlining the like, hey, this is a culture of violence that is perpetuating itself, and everybody's
yeah,
doing this thing, and I mean, I think it's very 1992, right? It's like, hey,
yeah.
people who are watching this movie who don't understand, here's your lesson. By now, it's
Well,
like, no, we got it. We knew what was going
Yeah,
on, and you didn't have to do
there's
that.
there's a movie that has a kind of a similar plot beat that I don't care for very much in Training Day, but like everybody in the neighborhood shows up because they all hate Alonzo and he's been terrorizing them for years. So like it kind of makes sense that they're aware of what's going on and invested in it. This motherfucker's got a baby on the roof, first of all. Second of all, like the guy who doesn't understand what sex is with the mixtape at the beginning is the one that tells him that the juice has been transferred to him. Like, I fucking hate this. And then they cut
well,
to like an hour before in the movie where it's like, hey, you donkey lip flat vagina, like this weird fucking jive that they're talking. And then it just ends.
yeah. Well, my biggest problem with the Tupac death scene is it's fucking hysterical. Like when he dies, he's like literally like no, and then he like you hear the thud, and he like the way he falls, he literally falls into like the void. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I like
they're on the
was
tallest building that's ever existed
I
in
was
Harlem because
It
cracking
is
he
up.
like,
falls
it is
into darkness.
in New York City, and I understand that this is meant to be in like a terrible neighborhood, but literally, like you said, it's like it is pitch black. There is no light can escape from 2 floors down from this roof. Like it is impossible.
Dude,
And I know it's a finger thing means the money because they probably didn't want to make the Tupac mannequin because that shit would be too funny.
also, in the back of my head, I was like, "This is they really ruined a good dummy. That you could have the
Yeah.
Tupac dummy getting thrown off the roof, and I would have loved that." But yeah, the no, and then thud, and then oh my god, like I'm sorry, it was so to me, and you knew what you guys know I love a good dummy fall, but like it
Yeah.
was just unintentionally hilarious to me. Like the thud too was very funny.
I didn't hear the thud when I watched it, but
Oh,
maybe I
there's a
didn't have it
thud.
turned up loud enough because I
There's
was
a
gonna say like, oh, there's never. I was like, oh, what a choice. There's no noise, so he's falling forever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He
No,
just
then he gets sent on the lightless walk for 10 seconds.
no Tupac.
Yeah,
Tupac falls.
he fell. He fell
Tupac
into.
falls forever, and then he fights the Balrog, and he comes back as Tupac the White.
I
Does that
assumed he got
does
lost
that
in the
scan? Does
Springfield
that
mystery
reference?
spot,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, Tupac the
Oh
White's
wow.
better.
Who's that? Ozzy Guillen? Or no?
Yeah.
Oz. Yeah. No.
Ozzy
Yeah, it's Ozzy
Smith.
Kid.
Ozzy
Ozzy
Smith. Yeah.
Smith. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
This
the
Anyway,
movie,
movie.
yeah. I really wish this movie didn't end with "You got the juice now." It's so bad. Like it doesn't end with that because it, like Sean said, it ends with them like at a happier moment where they're like, "Hey, what's up, Dingleberry?" And they're like, you know. But I don't
Nah,
know.
why I ought to.
I think this movie is good, but I feel like some of the execution could have been a little bit better. Like I
Yeah.
like the overall storyline, but I feel like there's elements of this movie that kind of take me out of the movie at
The
times.
story is like real thin, and the shit that they choose to underline is like,
Yeah.
yeah, no duh, but the shit that they choose not to really delve into is like, oh, that's interesting. Like
Yeah.
like we talked about like the culture of like, you know, adolescent manhood, I guess you would call it, where it's like, this rush to be because they like again besides like going to play Street Fighter for money, like they never actually go to school. Like they're all just like kind of like avoiding the like, the Raheem's got a baby. And it's like they're involved in all this like adult stuff that's beyond their station. And that's like an interesting exploration, but it's like we gotta hurry up and get to the part where Bishop goes crazy. Which
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
is a performance movie, right? So if you like the performances, and I think all the performances, with the exception
Yeah.
of Frank, who's mad that kids don't have African names, even though his name's Frank, and the adult girlfriend. And Samuel Jackson's like okay, but like
Yeah,
the
he's barely in
kids
the
are
movie.
all like
He's like hardly in the movie.
the kids are all excellent in this movie. So like,
Yeah.
Alec, was your favorite part of the movie? It's a
when the
tough
guy
one.
got the juice,
Yeah.
Yes.
Was your favorite part of the movie when he transferred the juice? It's such a...
Yes. I
Alec,
love juice.
were you a Tupac guy? I know you were a '90s hip hop guy. Or are you more of a Notorious B.I.G. guy?
No, I like Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac was much cooler, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
blasphemous.
just
If Dawg was on here, he would freak out.
just based on California love alone.
That video makes him cooler to me. I love that video. The video rules.
You guys got to get. I got to find the picture of it. I have his book, The Rose That Grew from Concrete, of all his like fruity poems he wrote when he lived in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of him with like these like diggable planet twists in his hair, and he's wearing these like fruity stonewashed jeans. It's so funny. I gotta find it.
Awesome. But he's great. I gotta say, like, I have my issues with the movie, but like, I agree with Sean. Like, the performances are very good in general, but I feel like Tupac, like that guy was a star. Like it kind of made me want to go back and watch his other movies because like he's so good in this.
You gotta watch
movie.
Gridlocked with him and Tim Roth.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never seen that, but yeah, I wanted to. Maybe I'll go back and watch that. But man, like obviously tragedy, he died. I mean, he was talented in a lot of different ways, but man, he was a good actor. Like like I feel like in a movie with strong performances, he stands above everybody else. Like he's so fucking good in this movie. Like to me, he is the strongest like feature in this whole film. Like he's so fucking good. Like I couldn't get over how good he was in this movie. Anyway, do you want to get to Five Knuckle Shuffles?
Yeah,
Might as well. Alec.
Hmm. 7.
7.
There we go.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a 7. It was
Yeah.
It wasn't like great, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of all over the place.
It's kind of all over the place, but like I don't know. I guess because we watched it on the show, and we lost
He
Alec.
dropped.
We watched it on
It's
the
like
show.
kind of all over the place, but like if it's all over the place in the same garage, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't like stray too far, but
It's
like
not
it's
as
kind
all
of
over the
pinball.
place
Oh,
as the program, which
Well,
is way
yeah.
all over the place.
The movie I was going to compare it to is another movie we watched on the show was Belly, which was a total mess. And like it's I know it's later in the timeline, but like that movie has like similar themes and like a similar kind of template. I feel like I Juice was before like Menace to Society and stuff, right? This is like
They're
one of
like
the-
contemporary.
neck
I
and
don't
neck?
know. Yeah.
But I feel like these movies kind of followed like a template that this kind of laid down. And this is like very like again like they executed like the storyline I feel like is done well and the characters are well fleshed out and it's coherent, whereas like a lot of those like Juice or Belly specifically is like what is even going on in this fucking movie? You know what I mean?
Africa.
Anything else, Mr. Alec?
No, Sean.
It's an 8 for me. I love this movie. It is a formative movie for me, like as a young black teenager in the suburbs of Baltimore. But also there was a hip hop group called the Young Black Teenagers that were all white. I think DJ Lethal was a member of it.
There he is.
I think there are a couple things like I fucking hate the ending. Like you could fix this so much of this movie by just stitching in the deleted scene and then just immediately cutting it after he falls off the roof. And then you can go to the cool DJ Red Alert introducing Q's tape and it works better. I think the choice to have those two DJ segments so close together in the middle of like
Yeah.
the rising action,
Yeah.
it kind of kills the movie dead. Like, um, but other than that, like this is a very competent movie and it looks really good. And for, very new young actors, they're great. I mean, we can keep talking about Tupac forever. Um, but no, I of this genre of movie, I think this is in like the upper echelon. Like I love Belly, but I would not say Belly is a well structured, well executed movie by any stretch of the
You just like
imagination.
you like Belly for that one scene where he's like, "Get naked, get
Get butt
get
naked.
butt naked."
You gonna get yours, B? I love that movie, but it's fucking awful.
It's so
Um, this is actually a good movie. So, and it doesn't not like the program. It doesn't like trade too much on like racial stereotypes, probably because the people that wrote it and directed it were also black and like
yeah.
from New York. So like it feels really earnest. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's an 8 for me, but there are some problems with it. Nate.
Yeah, it is an 8. I think the thing that struck me is the movie really cares about all of these guys in a way that a movie from this era doesn't, like in the way that we watched the program. We've watched some other stuff. Like we're familiar with other movies from the late 80s that don't do that, right? That purport to. And this really does feel like it has a little bit of a Spike Lee vibe to it while also doing this sort of hood film thing. Um, I think it's so well acted, and I think it's so the structural problems with like, the plot drags in the middle because of the DJ stuff. It sort of gets it gets caught in cul-de-sacs that it doesn't need to. Like I don't know. But these are all things that probably could have been worked out with another couple of months of writing or something that wasn't in the budget. Um, I don't know. Yeah, and I think like for as hacky as the final line is, it's also really effective for what it's supposed to do. If, especially if you think about like an audience in 1992 watching this, and especially like any amount of a white audience watching this in 1992, and you're like, "Oh, hopefully you got that. You
Right.
constructed a small amount of empathy in the audience around like, oh shit, like now this guy who didn't want any of this has the quote unquote juice that is part of the problem is this,
And
this
he
great
rejects the
MacGuffin.
juice.
Yeah. He didn't want it in the first place and he rejects it at the end. But it's this thing that is sort of like I know I mentioned sort of like the demonic possession of violence earlier when we were talking about this, but that's kind of the thing. Like the juice is sort of the ghost of this thing that
Well,
it
yeah, and like
corrupts, right?
he's a guy that like he has pure intentions because he wants to pursue his art. You know what I mean? He wants to be a musician and he wants to do this, but he gets dragged into this like violent mess that he is a part of, but not by his choosing. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
even when
because
they like decide to become like more criminal or more criminal, but to do criminal action and rob the store, like he doesn't want to do that. Like he just he's kind of just sucked in because they're his friends and he's like needs
Yeah.
to be a good friend. You know, he never wants to do all that shit. He's like, I got to do this DJ thing, and they make fun of him for it. It's like, oh, what are you doing? And
yeah.
you
Well,
know,
and when they
Yeah,
when they
I
decide
guess
to rob the store, it is a game that they're playing to everyone but Bishop, right? Like
right?
Bishop is the only one who is robbing a store because he wants to do that. He wants that life. Everybody else is like, okay, I guess we're doing a bit. And then it
Yeah,
turns out, no, you're not doing a bit because somebody's dead now. And now two
yeah,
of you
yeah.
we're
are
doing.
dead.
Yeah,
I guess saying you got the spirit of enmity now, Q, probably doesn't work as well.
Yeah, but it's an 8. TJ.
it's a 7 for me. I'm gonna side with Alec on this one. I like the movie. Don't get me wrong, but there are again like there's choices in this movie that kind of make it distracting for me. Again, the ADR is kind of bad. I think that while the movie looks good, there's some odd editing choices that kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. I agree with Sean. Where like I actually like the whole side plot of Q wanting to be a DJ and all. And I think the movie's very short. You had time to kind of expand on that, and you didn't need to put those DJ scenes like back to back. And I also like the idea of like touching on like, the music culture back then and like that kind of stuff. But I feel like it's very everything is like we've said before, everything is kind of rushed to get to the final fight. You know what I mean? And to get to Tupac's like dissolution, you know what I mean? And I feel like I kind of want to move. I kind of want the movie to have a little bit more room. Like it needs a little bit more space because everything's there, and that's why it's still a 7, and it's still a good movie. Like I really respect the fact that like I feel like I know all these characters. I know it's something that we talk about with every fucking movie, but like I respect that in a movie where it's like I know all these characters. I understand all the characters. They feel very fleshed out. Even the side characters feel like actual characters. But I want like more. And we've talked about this too. I know Sean's brought it up a lot. Like I kind of want the Juice like TV show where they have more time to kind of get into like to dive into all these little side tangents and stuff.
I mean,
Because like
this movie's only 96 minutes long. It could be
it could
110.
have been 2 hours.
Yeah,
It could have been 2
it
hours.
could be under
Yeah.
2 and still like with 15 more minutes of scene, you could play out most of the problems, right?
But without looking it up, I'm sure they made this movie on a nothing budget. Excuse me. Like they probably did this on the cheap, and like especially in the 90s, like not to sound like George Lucas, but like a black film, like you know what I mean? Like that was still like not super prevalent, so they probably had limitations, and that's probably more of why the movie's like this, because the movie understands what it's doing. Like I get that again, I think that's why it works, but I just wish they had a little bit more time to get into some other stuff. And like we said, the other reason is that 7 is, I think the ending is a total fumble. Like I hate, like Sean, I hate that end. I think the ending is so bad. To find out that whole, just that exchange where Tupac's like, I'm not going to jail, and he drops,
Mhm.
that's infinitely better. Because like
Yeah.
the way it's done, it's like, so again, it's silly the way that he dies and the way that scene plays out. Because like they go from fighting to like, he falls out the building, they're holding, and then it's like, I get their friends and all, but like, I don't know. It's again, it's like I said way back in the beginning of the show. I feel like Tupac's heel turn isn't handled well either, but that goes back to my previous point where I feel like you need a little bit more time with Tupac and his like inner motivations and stuff. Again, they get to where they need to go, but I just need a little bit more. I need just just stretch it out. And this is, I love a 90-minute movie, but I felt like this movie moved too fast, and I felt like it didn't have enough time to breathe at times. But again, still a solid movie. And I think it was Sean that said like, as someone that's watched a ton of fucking movies from the 80s and 90s, it's nice that and this maybe sounds weird coming from a fucking white kid, but it's nice that these guys aren't like super stereotypes. And this movie doesn't like, I don't know, it doesn't make them like caricatures of themselves. Like they're real
Yeah.
characters, and they're not just like, hood black guys. You know what I mean? Because
And
so
they're not
many.
like they're not like hysterically poor. They don't live in
Right.
slavery
Yeah.
times like in fucking The Program or whatever. Like
Like
they are
so
like
many movies do
working
that.
class
Yeah.
people in New York. It's
Yeah, and I mean, it's especially at that period, there's so much stuff where it's just like, again, like it's like offensive to me. There's just like, okay, like this isn't, these people feel real and realized, where like I do respect that a lot. Again, saying this as a fucking white kid, but you know what I mean. I'm speaking as a white kid that's seen a lot of movies and a lot of portrayals of black characters where you're just like, like I
Yeah.
didn't care for that. Like I don't, that doesn't feel good. I mean, we watched Soul Man, for Christ's sake. I mean, need I say more? You know what I mean? Like,
well, TJ, he wasn't actually black.
well, I know, but you know what I mean. And also remember, the ultimate resolution of that movie is like interracial relationship. I don't know. Like,
Mr. Lazansky.
that's still the craziest fucking ending of a movie. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you
anyway,
found
it's
out what it's like to be black.
from tanning lotion or what. Why did his hair turn? Why? Anyway, it's a good movie though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I did enjoy my time with it. So yeah, that was Juice. Does anybody have a pick for next week? We have a bevy of actors in this film.
I have
Ooh,
one.
Do it.
let's go.
So Vincent Laresca
Who is that?
played Rodimus.
Okay.
He was in The Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield one.
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right.
We can finish that. We watched the second one, so now we can watch the first one. I'm in.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be better than the second one.
Yeah.
I've actually
Definitely
never
better than
seen
the
it.
second one.
I've never seen
The
it.
first one's 1,000,000% better.
I think the Lizard Man stuff kind of works.
All right. Amazing
Okay.
Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man. I have gone on record and said every movie is better if Spider-Man is in it. So we'll see. I'll put my theory to the test.
All right, boys.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
everybody. We'll see you next week with the Amazing Spiderman, Steve Spiderman.
Hell yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.